Hello everyone. So today I'm going to tell you a bit about Java annotations as well as show them in action in a simple Spring Boot applications. So let us start with what are annotations. Annotations are a form of metadata, that is they provide data about a program that is not a part of the program itself. Annotations have no direct effect on the operation of the code they annotate. So they have a number of uses. For example, they are information for the compiler. Annotations can be used by the compiler to detect errors or suppress warnings. They have compile time and deployment time processing, so software tools can use annotations to generate code, XML files, and so forth. Runtime processing. Some annotations can also be examined at runtime to provide some additional functionality. So how do annotations look like? The format of an annotation is very simple. It is basically at the rate followed by the name of the annotation. The at the rate sign indicates to the Java compiler that what follows is an annotation. In this example, the annotation's name is override. So we have at the rate override followed by void my super method. So this annotation called override is annotating a void called my super method. Annotations can also include elements which can be named or unnamed, and and they can also have values for those elements. So, for example, we have an annotation called @author, which has an element of name which has a value of Benjamin Franklin, and then an element of date which has a value of 3/27/2003. And this annotation is annotating a class called myClass. Then we have another annotation @suppress warnings, which has a value of unchecked. Element called value, which has a value of unchecked, and this is annotating a void called my method. Void method called void my method. If there is just one element inside the annotation, then that name can be omitted. So, for example, this can be rewritten as this @suppress warnings followed by just unchecked instead of value is equal to unchecked. It is also possible to have multiple annotations for the same declaration. So, for example, @author name is equal to Jane Doe, then ebook, and both of these annotations are annotating a class called myClass. Then, if the annotations are having the same type, this is called repeating annotations, as shown here. So, where can annotations can actually be used? Annotations can be applied to declarations. So, declaration of classes, fields, methods, and other program elements. When used on declaration, each annotation often appears by convention on its own line. So let us see annotations a bit in action. So here I have a simple to-do applications built using Java Spring. In this application I have allowed users, this is simply an API that allows users to create a to-do, then get a list of all the to-dos, then we can also delete a to-do, and then you can also update or edit a to-do. So let us see how I have used annotations in this application. So first of all, I will show you the todo.java, which is basically the Java class that enables Java persistence or Java Hibernate uh, to migrate this Java class into a database entity so that this can be stored in a database. So we have a public class called todo, which has a number of attributes such as ID that is used by the database to index our columns, our rows. Then we have a title, then we have a created on, updated on, and finally description. So first of all, you can see the annotations called @entity. So an entity, when we give a class an @entity, it's specified thus this annotations can be applied to the entity class. So basically, this tells Java X persistence that this has to become a database model. Then we have @data. This is imported from Lombok, and this basically generates getters and setters for our to do to-do class. Then we have an @ID, which tells Java its persistence that this field has to become a database primary key. Then we have a column which has a element nullable whose value is false. This basically tells Java its persistence that this column always has to have a value, that is that can it can never be null. That is why we set nullable as false. Then we have a created on field which has a creation timestamp. This basically tells us that whenever this object is newly created, the date and time at that particular instance has to be inserted into the database. Updation timestamp is almost the same. It is just basically that every time this object is updated, then the date must be changed to the corresponding value. And finally, we have a simple string description, which translates to a database varchar. Let us see the to-do repository, which is a very simple interface which extends from a CRUD repository that is provided by Spring Framework. This basically allows us to do some very basic CRUD operations on the to-do model. CRUD operations like delete, save, find, etc. So finally, let us look at the controller, which is the heart of the application. So here we have a public class called to-do controller that is annotated by @controller. What this tells Spring is that this class is a controller. This serves as a specialization of component, allowing for implementation classes to be auto-detected through class path scanning. Next, we have request mapping. This basically tells Spring Boot that this controller needs to be available at this path, and it should be available at /to do. Then we have a private field called which to do repository. This basically, and it has an annotation of auto wired. This basically tells Spring Boot that this class must be initialized when the controller is initialized. Next, let us look at creating the to do. This to do is accessible only by post requests, HTTP post requests. So we have annotated it with post mapping annotation, which has been imported from Spring Framework.web.bind.annotation, and we have given it a default value of /create. So what this tells Spring Boot to do is basically this endpoint, create to do endpoint, should be available at /to do /create, and basically this sets the title as well as description for our new to do and saves that to the database, and then returns that to do as a response. Then we have a get mapping. Basically this tells Spring Boot applications that this endpoint must be accessible only by get requests, and it should return a list of all the to dos that are found in the database. Then we have a delete mapping. This tells Spring Boot that this endpoint should only be available via the HTTP delete verb, and this tells Spring Boot that this should be available at /to do /delete, and then the name of the ID of the to do that we want to delete. ID in this case is this attribute, this right here, which is an integer. So this will delete a to-do and it will return a boolean if the to-do has been deleted successfully, otherwise it will return false. Next and finally, we have a patch mapping, which allows the to-do application to be each to-do to be updated via their to-do ID, and this basically only allows a user to update the description of the to-do. If the to-do cannot be found, or if the description that is provided by the user is empty, then we return a 400 error saying that this is a bad request. Otherwise, we set the description to the set the description that has been provided by the user, and then save the new to-do to the repository, to the database. So let us see this in action. First of all, I will show you how to create. So here we have we send a post request to the endpoint /to do /create. We send a JSON body that is title and then a description. So first of all, I will send a title of digital design assignment, followed and a description of complete assignment by July 3rd. When I send the request, I will get a response, and as I can see here, the ID assigned to it is 1, and then we have the title and the description, and finally we have the created on and updated on timestamps. Let us create another to do here. So I'm sending another post request to our server, and now we have a new to do created in our database, which has an ID of 2, and it has a created on updated on timestamps as well as the title and descriptions that we submitted. Let us now get a list of all the to dos that are available on our in our database. Let us just for the sake of it create another to do. So now we have three to dos in our database. So now let us get a list of all the to dos that are available in the database. So we sent a get request to forward slash to do forward slash all, and we now have a list of all the to dos that we created in our database. So here we have the first to do, second, third. Now let us say we want to delete to do number 3. So we will send us delete request to forward slash to do forward slash delete forward slash the ID. So let us say I want to delete ID number 2. So I will send a delete request, and if I get true, that means it was deleted successfully. That is why I get a 200 OK response. Let us again see a list of all the to dos that we have in our application, in our database. So now you can see we have just two to-dos, and the to-do number ID 2 has been deleted from our database. Now let us create another to-do, and I will give this a new title and send the request. Now let us get a list of to-dos again, and now we see we have three to-dos again. Now we have a to-do of ID 1, 3 and 4, and obviously we don't have the ID of 2 anymore because that was deleted. Now let us try to update a to-do. So now what we need to do is basically send a request, send a description in the request body. So we have the body here and we can send the description here. So let us say I want to update to do number 1 with a description. This is my test description. So I can send the request and I will get true back. That means this to do was updated successfully. Now let us get a list of all the to dos again. So here we can see the to do with the ID 1 had a description of complete assignment by July 3. Now after updation, let us see what it has been changed to. So as you can see, this has been changed to this is my test description. So now we know that this works fine. So yes, this was Java annotations very briefly, as well as it in Java annotations in action using a simple to-do application built using Spring Boot. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you very much.